During the height of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were beefing up their weapons in preparation for an attack. This heavily revolved around the production of thermonuclear weapons, or hydrogen bombs. As the Cold War progressed into the 1980s, the combined nuclear arsenal of USA and Russia was well above 60,000 bombs. If even a fraction of these nukes were used in a battle, all plant and animal life on Earth would cease to exist. The threat of mutually assured destruction was what ultimately prevented these weapons from ever being used in conflict, but the fear was still there. Leading up to the test, the plane used to drop the bomb was painted in a special reflective paint to prevent the heat from the blast from killing those on board. The bomb was dropped on October 30, 1960. The explosion was extremely powerful, so much so that the shockwave was able to reflect off the Earth so hard that it prevented the fireball from touching the ground. The blast was the equivalent of 58 megatons of TNT, with a megaton meaning 1 million tons. That translates to 116 billion pounds of TNT. After the explosion, the plane was hit with a shockwave so hard that it dropped half a mile, but was able to recover safely. The blast wave circled the Earth 3 times. It shattered windows on buildings 480 miles away from the drop zone. Surprisingly, there was not much leftover radiation from the explosion due to the extremely efficient thermonuclear reaction. Structures 34 miles away from the blast were instantly destroyed. The flare from the explosion was visible from Norway, Greenland, and Alaska. If this bomb had been dropped on a place as dense as New York City, it would kill nearly 8 million people. One reason that these massive weapons were not expanded upon is their range. Since the bomb itself was nearly 30 feet long and weighed 60,000 pounds, it couldn't be transported very far. The plane delivering the bomb had to have some of its fuel tanks and bomb bay doors removed just to carry the weapon. Even if the plane could successfully fly to the United States without being shot out of the sky by the U.S. Air Force, it wouldn't have had the range to do so and return back to Russia. This is why both America and Soviets diverted their production to ballistic missiles, which could cross entire oceans to deliver a nuclear payload. After the Tsar Bomba test, an agreement was signed in Moscow in 1963, called the Treaty Banning Nuclear Weapons Tests in the Atmosphere, Space, and Underwater.